Hi everyone, I am Jackie and this is Depish, and today we'll be introducing you to Xamarin. So you must be wondering what Xamarin is. Well, Xamarin is a cross-platform toolkit that allows you to develop an app that will be compatible across different operating systems, such as your Android, your Windows, or your iOS, without you having to code for the same app 3 times. So when using Xamarin, you'll be coding in 2 languages, XAML and C#, using Visual Studio as your integrated development environment, also known as your IDE. So first of all, XAML is an XML-based language that gives you the ability to declare user interface elements, which is the visual appearance of your app. C# is a language that you use to develop your code behind. So the code behind is what determines how your user interface behaves. For example, what happens after you touch an icon. Before we begin, you should probably know that in the industry there are many large companies that use Xamarin for their app development, such as Slack, Kellogg's, Fox Sport, JetBlue, and Alaska Airlines, just to name a few. So learning how to use Xamarin, and specifically Xamarin Forms, is really useful. Okay, now looking at the MVVM pattern, when making applications, you'll be introduced to this pattern, and what it stands for is the model view view model. It is a standardized structure of how you should format your Xamarin code. So just like when you're writing in essays, you have a writing structure, for coding it is just the same. You normally enforce patterns such as the MVVM when writing code for large projects to make it easy to maintain and understandable. So now just to explain how the MVVM pattern works. So basically, when you're making an application, you're working with 2 main parts. The view, which are your objects, and the model, which is your data entities, which is like the information that is collected and displayed. What the MVVM pattern does is that it connects these 2 parts, the view and the model, by having an intermediary part called the view model. What the view model does is that it is the logic that controls the information that needs to be displayed after the user has interacted with an object, to know that it needs to gather the data for the next song from the model and then play the next song. So what connects the view and the view model is the process of data binding, and this is defined in a XAML file. The connection between the view model and the model is known as the reference. For example, will be the connection that is made when the user wants to update the contact details. Overall, this whole process will be compatible across all the different platforms. However, the only part that the MVVM pattern will require a platform-specific code will be in your view section, because you wouldn't want your user interface to be identical across your mobile, your tablet, or even across different platforms. So now I'll pass it on to Depish, who's going to talk to you about how the different options you have for sharing codes.
Cool, thank you, Jackie. So there are 3 methods available between cross-platform applications to share code in a Xamarin app. Today we'll be going through just 2 of those, PCL and shared projects. We recommend using PCL, portable class libraries, as the code is cleaner and hence more readable. The main difference between PCL and SAP is how we deal with the platform-specific code. PCL uses the device class, which I'll show later, as well as, and SAP uses preprocessor directive, like hashif, hashlf. Shared libraries uses the shared asset project to organize the source code and uses compiler directives to manage platform-specific requirements. This means that you can create classes as per usual, but if you want to perform something platform-specific, you would have to implement a compiler directive around the code. Universal Windows applications use shared forms, which is the default, and as it allows you to write code for Windows desktop applications. Overall, it can be useful, however, it can be limited and is normally used for coding small apps, for backward compatibility reasons, or prototyping, which is why we normally recommend using portable class libraries. Cool, so portable class libraries. Portable class libraries target the platform you wish to support and uses interfaces to provide platform-specific functionality. It is a great way to write code once that can be used on multiple platforms and can be easily maintained and tested. When you write a PCL program, you don't need to insert compiler directives to switch the code depending on each platform. You only need to select which platforms you will support when you start coding. Portable libraries like .NET Standard and Profile Base are the recommended methods when coding for a cross-platform mobile application. The code in this portable class library is bundled into a dynamically linked library, or a DLL, that each application project, example Android, iOS, etc., references and binds to it at runtime. There are some great benefits for using PCL to summarize. Easier unit testing, easier to read the code, greater portability, and better implementation of the code in general. So say you want to do some padding. On the left-hand side with PCL, you can see that we check the current device and the target device. And if they match, then we do the padding, otherwise we don't. On the right-hand side, we use the old-style C# preprocessor directives. This might be useful to you in some situations, but it can look super ugly. So now what I'll do is show you an example of a PCL project. Cool, so I've gone ahead here and created a blank portable class library example. You will learn how to create and run this example in further videos. As you can see here in the app.xaml.cs, this is the main starting of this application. It initializes all the Xamarin components and creates the constructors required for this particular page. In the main page.xaml, this is the view. This is what you see when you run this project. Welcome to Xamarin Forms. What I'm going to show you is in the platform-specific code, under references, this is what converts the Xamarin UI definitions into the various components, the labels required for Android and for iOS. This portable code is your code behind, which you'll write in C# in XAML, as mentioned earlier. Thank you for watching this particular video, and be sure to watch the following videos as well.
Thank you.